Hey everybody, welcome to Play, Rank, Share, the show where I cover the marquee PlayStation 5 titles, create an ever-evolving ranking of the best PlayStation 5 games, and share my opinions with you. My name is Tyrus, and this episode is all about my top 10 PlayStation 5 games still to come this year. Be sure to leave a comment below telling me what your most anticipated PS5 game in 2022 is. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, remember to like the video as it helps other people find the show. And with that out of the way, let's jump in. The PlayStation 5 has seen a flurry of highly reviewed games come out this year, including Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and Sifu. But there is still an array of exciting releases coming out throughout the rest of the year. So, I wanted to take the time to highlight the 10 games I'm most excited for. Overall, it does seem like the frequency of high-profile releases will start to slow down for the rest of the year, but who knows what unannounced games will get revealed and released this year, and there's always room for surprise indie hits. Starting at number 10, I'm cautiously optimistic that Saints Row will deliver an engaging open-world experience. While longtime fans of the series seem nervous about what this rebrand will entail, I do not have strong ties to the franchise, so I'm more open to this lighter, tonal shift and a new focus on a group of lighthearted millennials. I think August is good release timing for Saints Row. We have gotten a bunch of high-quality open-world games the past few months, and Saints Row would be lost in the crowd if it released right now like originally intended. The subgenre of Grand Theft Auto-like open-world games has been lacking the past few years, and if good, Saints Row has a great opportunity to fill a hole in the industry and probably generate a lot of sales. Clocking in at number 9, Stray was one of the standout indie games that was part of the initial PlayStation 5 reveal back in June 2020. This puzzle adventure game has a unique twist where you play as a cat in a futuristic cyber city. With only robots populating the world, you must uncover a mystery that surrounds the city while trying to escape. You are accompanied by a drone called B12 who will assist you on your journey. I really vibe with the art direction in this game. I think there is something beautiful about an overall dreary setting that is contrasted by bright neon signs. I think Stray could prove to be a refreshingly different game, and I look forward to playing it later this year. PlayStation seems invested in Little Devil Inside, and it's my 8th most anticipated game for the remainder of this year, even though I'm right now not entirely convinced it'll actually come out in 2022. The art direction of this game feels vastly different from any game I've played before, and it looks to have a sprawling story based on the trailers we have already seen. This game will feature a wide array of environmental settings as well as combat elements. I'm always intrigued by indie games that try something outside the box, and I'm eagerly awaiting more news about Little Devil Inside. Despite seeing the game multiple times, I'm still not entirely sure what kind of game this is, and I find that mystery tantalizing, and I can't wait to hear more. After initially getting a media blitz when it was announced in the summer of 2020, we have heard surprisingly little about Gotham Knights ever since. The latest game set in the Batman universe got delayed to October 25th, and I think that's the release date it will stick to. In Gotham Knights, you can choose to play as 4 Bat family superheroes: Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood. It is set to be an open-world action RPG and will offer both single-player and co-op play. In the beginning of the game, Batman is killed, and the Knights must solve the murder while dealing with a court of owls and other iconic Batman villains. I'm hoping developer WB Montreal is able to make 4 distinct playable characters that all feel unique, and I'm excited to see some lesser-known Batman characters take the spotlight. I expect we will see more news about this game in the summer in the lead-up to its release. At number 6, I'm hoping Forspoken, another recently delayed game, turns into a high-quality experience with fast, kinetic gameplay, but I'm starting to be a little concerned. While still optimistic, I think Forspoken is quickly becoming overexposed, constantly showing up at every PlayStation showcase. Despite this, I feel like we've seen minimal gameplay of Forspoken in favor of more cutscene and story information, which is a potential cause for concern. This action RPG is being developed by the team that made Final Fantasy XV, and could represent the beginning of a new blockbuster franchise for Square Enix. It definitely looks to have some of the best environments seen in a PS5 title yet, and I cannot wait to zip around this world. However, I need to see more combat before I'm completely sold, and I'm sure we'll see more in the lead up to the October 11th release date. Coming in at number 5 on my list is Trek to Yomi, a game I don't think is getting talked about enough. A Kurosawa-style 2D samurai game, Trek to Yomi has you playing as Hiroki as he voyages beyond life and death to keep a vow to his master. The presentation flair of Trek to Yomi has me genuinely intrigued to see more. For example, from what we've seen so far, the game presents a unique variety of camera angles for this 2D adventure. It looks to have a brutal yet stylish combat while telling a gripping narrative about a samurai's journey. It wouldn't surprise me if Trek to Yomi gets a surprise release date any day now, as the game is dated with a spring 2022 release date. A Plague Tale Innocence was a game that completely flew under the radar for a lot of people, and it wouldn't surprise me if its sequel, titled A Plague Tale Requiem, is a breakout hit for the franchise later this year. In Requiem, you play as Amicia as she attempts to protect herself and her younger brother Hugo from a brutal world around them. The game takes place in medieval-era France and looks to have a more combat-oriented approach in this sequel. With the first game taking place during a plague, the sequel is sure to bring back its ambitious, standout, rat-oriented gameplay. The sequel also looks to take big leaps in both graphical fidelity and environmental variety. Requiem has already had its trophy list leaked, so don't be surprised if the game comes out as soon as May or June. Ranking at number 3, Hogwarts Legacy recently had a very impressive State of Play showcase, detailing just how ambitious this game is. Developed by Avalanche Software and published by WB, Hogwarts Legacy has you attending the school as a 5th-year student during the late 1800s. This game looks bigger than anything we have seen Avalanche do before, and if it lives up to its promise, this will be the definitive game in the Wizarding World universe. There are a multitude of different activities that you'll be able to do, including attending classes to refine your skills, taking care of beasts, and fine-tuning the room requirement to suit your interests. On top of that, Hogwarts Legacy will have a full open world of the campus and the neighboring Hogsmeade for players to explore. This game will also have a morality system that dictates certain spells you can learn. After watching this state of play, I think Hogwarts Legacy is an incredibly ambitious game, and I hope it sticks the landing when it's released at the end of this year. At number 2, I am very bullish on the Quarry, which is being developed by Supermassive Games and releasing on June 10th. The Quarry feels like an obvious spiritual successor to Until Dawn, which I think is one of the most underrated PS4 titles. Set during the last day of summer camp, the Quarry has 9 playable characters, all trying to survive the night. This game will have a branching narrative and a multitude of different endings, as any of the characters may die based on the choices made by the player. The Quarry will also feature a robust multiplayer mode where you can play co-op with multiple friends. If the track record of Supermassive Games is anything to go by, this should be a fun, scare-filled adventure that you can play with your friends over the course of a weekend or two, or enjoy by yourself. Scarier games aren't for everyone, but I can't wait to start playing the Quarry in June. My most anticipated game still to come in 2022 is obviously God of War Ragnarok. PlayStation Studio games are synonymous with high quality, and I fully expect that God of War Ragnarok will continue the trend when it releases later this year. I'm confident Ragnarok won't be delayed, and I think that's likely to come out sometime around September. God of War 2018 didn't receive any DLC, so the team has had 4 years to build upon and innovate on the groundbreaking framework they have already developed. God of War 2018 blew me away with its exquisite narrative, and I can't wait to see how Kratos and Atreus continue their journey, meeting new faces along the way. With this being the ending of God of War in Norse mythology settings, I'm particularly interested to see how they handle conflict with Thor and Odin as they wrap up Kratos' journey in this world. Thank you for watching this episode of Play, Ranked, Share. Future episodes of PRS are on the horizon, including a review for Elden Ring and a ranking of all PlayStation Studio games on the PS5. What's your most anticipated PS5 game coming out this year? Make sure to let me know in the comments below, and until next time, don't stop sharing.